Mortgages are boring.
Yeah.
To market the mortgage as a broker is all just about your personality and how you come across. We're marketing something that is really hard to market.
Yeah. So what practical tips can you say that makes compliance not get in the way?
The compliance is there as the protected barrier for you not for something to cost you. Let's put in money to cost you a lot of money.
Yeah.
We've had Brexit. We've had COVID.
Yeah.
Brexit, Ukraine, mini budget.
They did is they went about it the wrong way.
When I first started, we were doing all 2-year, 5-year fixed, about 2.5%.
Yeah.
Right, just popping them out left, right, and centre. With the mini budget, that was dreadful when you had to tell people, listen, you're going from 1.6% to 6%.
Wow. So they weren't. It just all crashed. Well, if you haven't seen part 1, go back and watch it because you're on part 2 now. And please enjoy and listen to what I've got to say. And not me, listen to Leigh. So tell me, Leigh, why mortgages? Why did you get into mortgages, of all things?
Just always been a bit of a, I've said this a few times on different things, a bit of a house geek. I've always liked houses. My dad was a carpenter. He built houses.
Yep.
I'm like you, though. I can't put a picture.
No, I'm terrible.
My dad...
I'm really terrible.
Yeah. No, I make more
DIY.
damage. Yeah. My dad, after he saw me do a few things, he said, Leigh, make money from your head, not your hands.
Do you know what? My father, because my father passed away just before COVID, believe it or not. And he, his saying was pretty much the same. Was never do a job in which your hands get dirty. Yeah. That's what he used to say.
Yeah.
So I was like, right.
So then I was working in the voluntary sector, running a charity in Cwmbran, and that sort of came to an end. And I knew I've always played football all my life, and 2 of the boys from football had a mortgage company. And we were just talking one day, and they said, well, because you know so many people, and quite chatty anyway, you'd be quite a good mortgage advisor with your network. So they were kind enough to say, listen, if you become a self-employed mortgage broker, you can start with us. And then I just revised, done my CMAP. But like I said, I sort of wanted a lettings company because I had a couple of bite-to-lets anyway. Yeah. So I was interested in that. But then mortgages came along, got the CMAP, done some sort of very early Facebook stuff, 2019 maybe. And then people, for some unknown reason, trusted me to do their mortgages. Yeah. And then they told their friends and whatever. But that's probably because you talk to them like a normal person. Well, yeah.
And that's it. And people just want that.
And the reason that I went sort of all in on talking to people normally and explaining things was just because at some points I was sat there as the advisor thinking, what's going on here? Yeah. And you sometimes, that's why I've always been sort of supportive of other brokers as well, especially brokers who are just starting off, because sometimes you can sit in a chair and feel like you're just spinning around in a circle with no answers, no support. And so we, like, mortgages, it's a bit like compliance, like we're marketing something that is really hard to market. Yeah. It is a hard thing. You can't, people say, I've said in the past, which is not great, but I've said mortgages are boring. Yeah. Which they pretty much are. To market the mortgage as a broker is all just about your personality and how you come across. So I didn't really, you asked me why to get into mortgages, it wasn't to get people into debt, it was because an interest in houses. Yeah. And then protecting people's families.
Like watching Grand Designs, any of that?
Do you know what? I can't say I didn't get into it because of that.
I love a bit of... Well, I built my own house and like that, I'm watching that. Don't get me wrong, those houses are massive and amazing, but...
Or Homes Under the Hammer.
Yeah, I don't do that. The George, what's his name? The Geordie guy, I quite like those. Then he does the renovations and
I
stuff
love all
like
the
that.
renovation programs.
But which is ironic because I'm so crap as well at DIY.
So it was just like, got into it, went well, seemed to enjoy it, enjoy helping people get their first home, especially when they come back to you, they've had a first home, got their first child in that home. And then it just went from there, really. That was it.
So what's Valhalla for you? So like 10 years' time, what is Valhalla? What does it look like? What's the perfect, where's you go? Where are you going to?
Well, fingers crossed, Fear Financial as a network grows. Yeah. If it doesn't grow, it's not the end of the world. But if we're doing a good job, it gets a good reputation, brokers will want to join as an appointed representative under Fear. So Fear grows to a healthy network, which has got a good reputation, and we're still talking to people like this, like just being normal people within the financial space network. Property hotspot sales, once again, hopefully it grows, become a reputable estate agency, and we're just known as decent people.
Yeah.
You know, being nice costs nothing. And then me and myself, all I want is for my family to be safe, secure, and happy. And that'll literally do me. I'm quite a simple guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I won't be coaching by then, because I'm only going to coach until they're under 16, 18. So hopefully then have a nice time with more time with my wife.
So have you got a mortgage?
Yeah, I have got a mortgage on my residential. I got a couple of mortgages, but I've got one on my residential. But yeah.
Okay. So have you ever thought about building your own house then? Have you?
No.
If you're going to go down the grand designs route?
No.
It's just the biggest. And here's another
just sold
mortgage.
a plot of land, actually.
Yeah, and that's what I was just going to go into. This is great, because it's like buying the plot of land, and then you've got to have the mortgage on the build
and released in clumps.
Yes. And like, so that, you know, that's a really, you know, that taught me a lot, because I never knew existed, you know, and we fell into it simply because my wife worked for HSBC.
Right, okay.
And a couple of her friends who worked in HSBC with the mortgage, or the advisors, and you roll up there, right, and you probably do this, and they go, oh, you got this amount of disposable income. I'm like, no, I haven't. I'm more skint. And it's like, no, you got 1,800 quid. And my wife just had in her mind, I want to build my own house.
Well, fair play to the wife.
And that was it. But again, it's having that, it's not like an equity release, because they're lending you money on nothing, you know. So it's a very strange mortgage that was.
Yeah,
I remember going down that route.
Well, we're sort of going into different. We talk about equity release. We're looking at specialist finance at the moment. We might branch out and do specialist finance ourselves, but we also work with some national special and one in Cardiff specialist finance companies who do products that we don't actually do at the minute, like bridges and second charges.
Yes.
But we've also got, with FIA, we're discussing like a FIA, it's really early, so we haven't got the name really, FIA Foundation or FIA Academy, where we bring CAS, Competent Advisor Status Advisors, from there through to ARs. Because at the moment, we've got a pathway, but we haven't got it sort of formalised. So we're looking at building a pathway within FIA, so people can just go in, be a representative individual of FIA, and then get as enough experience to then be appointed representative. So we're looking at a pathway.
I like the idea of that.
Yeah, that's that. I forgot
like
that when you said what's going to be happening in 10 years' time.
You could do like an academy almost.
Yeah, I don't know if there's... I don't know... We've done some, I'll say, market research. We haven't really, just me and Craig's done a little look around. It's not much like it out there. And it'd be quite nice to support brokers, like I said, who are just at the start of their journey. We can't do the CAS thing. You guys do the CAS thing, don't you? Do you support to CAS or support after CAS to appoint a representative, something like that?
We have appointed representatives. We do things. I don't get involved in it with regards to the mortgages and stuff like that. But we do a lot of the bits and pieces.
We're looking at a path. Basically, we're looking at a pathway, and if that pathway is successful, it helps more brokers. That's it. Who maybe are sort of, like I said, spinning around in the chair on their own. Yeah.
So what about, you know, property like this that we're in right now and stuff? Do you do mortgages on that? Because we're kind of like looking into going down maybe buying some corporate properties, and you know,
the answer is, have we got the permissions? Yes.
Yeah.
Can we write the business? Not at this point, no.
Okay.
Why can't we write the business? Because we haven't done it.
Right. Is it a kind of a chicken and the egg kind of thing?
That's me personally. Within FIA itself, within the network, we have just taken on now someone who can write the business. Yeah. But if you're asking me personally, in my little bit of FIA, I can't write the business. But if you came to me and said, listen, Lee, we want to buy this, I go, oh, right, okay, we got the permissions, we've got the guy, we could link you up. But that's very new. You've got
to be careful as well. If you don't use the permissions, the FCA say you lose it. So you use it or lose it. Yeah. So just beware of that.
Well, we're just going... I just had a massive email off them yesterday for equity release. Yeah. Because we didn't have that permission. Yeah. Then we applied for the permission... what are we on now? January the 6th. And we had an email. Yeah, it's nearly like an FCA application. Yeah. So, we got... You know, you said 82 questions earlier. It ain't that far, but it's pretty chunky.
We reply to all that. That's what we do. So, you know what I mean? Just if you decide to change your compliance company, just give us a shout.
Yeah, I will.
So what practical tips can you say that makes compliance not get in the way of your journey for you? What would you advise?
When I was a bit less experienced, I thought compliance was a bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest with you.
A deal prevention officer, isn't it?
I've heard all that nonsense, but not nonsense. I've heard all those sayings. I have heard it off experienced advisors, like sales killers, whatever you want to call it. But if you understand that the compliance is there as the protective barrier for you, not for something to cost you, let's put it in money, to cost you a lot of money, to get you struck off, to make you not be able to do any business anymore.
Yep.
Keep that in the back of your mind and then research why compliance works and why compliance is there. And then adhere to the compliance, and then you can be freer. It's a weird one because you understand what you're supposed to be compliant to and why you're compliant to it, and then you can work it back into no jargon, taking things slowly, doing deals which are compliant.
I think what a lot of companies don't realise, and I will say this about the motor trade, is it's not so much the FCA that they've got to worry about with regards to the regulation. It's the claims management companies who will jump on the mistakes that you will do and then try and unwind that deal so they can get paid for it. Yeah. And that's the biggest problem. I wouldn't say the problem. That's the biggest risk to the companies out there. We've seen many different things in the motor trade. We can see a couple bubbling along now where we're trying to warn people going, there's dealers who are not FCA authorised and they chuck in deals to finance companies. So these brokers are just saying, just send them to us. We don't care if you're FCA authorised or not, right? Now, we say, well, guess what? It's not the FCA you've got to worry about, but when the claims management companies see this, they'll go, okay,
it's making me feel uneasy just listening to
exactly.
it.
But they'll go, and I mean, this is on a big scale.
Yeah.
And so they'll go to the customer, and that customer may be normally subprime, say, you've had that car for 3 years. Would you like all your money back on it? Well, what do I have to do? Nothing. We'll get it back for you because that's an unregulated agreement. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're a non-regulated dealer. That's unenforceable. Yeah. So they go back to the lender. The lender goes to the broker, and it's this house of cards. Yeah. And that's coming.
Is it?
And we're saying that's coming. You think the discretionary commission is a big thing? This is going to be huge. And dealers are just going, la, 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 la. We don't care. We'll just do the deal. Until the CMCs start coming for them.
Once it starts going bang,
that's the big thing,
Send them all a little red panic button with your phone number.
We're trying to warn people, you know what I mean? We're trying to warn them, and nobody's listening. There's been a big change. I don't know. Do you do your annual? Because you're FCA authorised. Yeah. What's your reg data like, or reg data? What's that?
We've only just done it our first year.
Oh, is it really?
It's got to be on. What are we on now? I don't know if we'll go. The 9th is, but today I don't know if we'll. But then Owen's not going to be until the 12th. So we've just got it our first year. We've done a very light one last year. Yeah. But this is our first full year.
They've changed it from a limited permissions, right, which used to be 5 or 6 questions that the FCA used to ask. Now they've changed that to 82.
Wow.
I know, and we got to get, and we say into these, and guess when they want the data from, and they've just said it now, from the 1st of January last year. So they've got to dig out data, which they didn't know, which we were telling everybody, this is coming for 2 years, and everybody's not listened. Yeah. And so it's become a problem for us.
Our tracking is quite easy, though, because we get it all filtered. Fear, for example, with this ARs underneath it. Yeah. It's a bit of a confusing Excel spreadsheet, but at least we got one. So we have an Excel commission sheet every week. And we just store that away, and then it all just goes into a master Excel, which then drops out all the information. Okay. But it does get out a bit complicated because obviously we do protection as well then. Yeah. So Legal and General have popped their commission in there, but we got, Aviva, Zurich, Vitality, whoever else.
Should you have you developed any of your own systems or anything like that, or do you buy off the shelf kind of systems? Do you need anything like that?
When we looked at FIA to start it up, the quickest and easiest, we went around a few mortgage clubs. They've all been, once again, it's like they're all good. Do you know what I mean? They're all nice people. Yeah. I think one of the guys is from Swansea, actually.
Don't trust him.
I didn't go there. No, he was really, he was all right. And so, because we needed sometimes you've just got to do things, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know, we could ponder for ages, but you ponder about something and something changes, do the same. So, I mean, Legal and General is our mortgage club. And within the Legal and General package, as long as you have a license for the CRM and you have a license for the sourcing, and basically as long as you write X amount of business for that license, it becomes free.
So what are your biggest challenges at the moment?
Biggest challenges at the moment, the estate agency is young, right? So I've got to put a lot of time and energy into the social media for the estate agency. It's a lot different to the...
Time, then, is the biggest challenge. It's time.
There you go. You just say 10 minutes.
Time. I know how you feel. It's,
But feel...
Do you ever do prism thinking or disc thinking when you've got the 4 quadrants of the brain? So you've got like yellow, green, blue.
A clue.
So that's
interesting to go on.
Yeah, it is very, very interesting. Look at a prism thinking or, is it prism thinking? Yeah, prism thinking or disc is another one. So you've got 4 quadrants of the brain. With me, I'm green-red, which is initiating green and stuff. So I'm straight to the point.
Yeah.
Bit flash, like blue brightling on and stuff like that. Dolce trainers and stuff. That's it. But if you're going to sell to me, right? Like, I don't want to know the nitty-gritty of anything, right? So the nitty-gritty, the ins and outs, the very intricate parts would be a yellow part of the brain.
Right, okay.
So that person would love a spreadsheet, would like to have a magazine, and you'd say to them, all right, I tell you what, I'm going to give you this. I'll come back to you next week. Would that be okay? Yeah, I'm fine with that. Great. And you sell to them because you're selling to them on the way of thinking. Yeah. Me, I'm going, look, get to the point. How much is it going to be? Right. Yeah. Can I have a discount on that? Can you try and do it? Yeah. Go on, I'll have it.
Right.
That's the way I am.
Yeah.
So it's how you change the way your approach is to those types of people. You know what I mean? Like a blue thinker would be somebody who thinks of other people before themselves.
I got you.
But I am green-red all the way. I'm a flash bastard. I'll come up with loads of ideas.
Yeah.
And tons of ideas. But then I'll go, right, you got to put it into practice for me. I don't want to put it across the line. I can't be asked.
But I suppose it's good to be that self-aware, because then you can, like, for example, in business, then you can look at if you want to call it the colours, you can then get somebody else who complements yours to make your team, can't you?
And that's exactly it. How about the mortgage meltdown in 2023? Tell us a bit about that. How did that affect you? We've got here. He scaled a mortgage business while interest rates were skyrocketing and the UK economy was in chaos.
Wow.
How did you manage that?
Well, since I that's a bad one. Since I started, right, we've had, there might be other ones I've missed, but we've had Brexit. I think we've had COVID, Brexit, Ukraine, mini budget, right?
Well, the mini budget was a beauty. But do you know what? They were right. They were right. You look at what they've done now. What they did is they went about it the wrong way.
Yes.
And the Bank of England hated it, what they were saying. And so the Bank of England went against them.
Yeah.
You know, like what these guys have done is an absolute shambles. You know what I mean? It's, again, from a business owner, I cry myself to sleep.
I bet.
Each night.
Just looking at flights to Dubai.
Yeah. Well, this is Malta, Republic of Ireland. It could be something.
But, to be honest, you're right. I've never really... Now is quite stable compared to... When I first started, we were doing all 2-year, 5-year fixed, about 2.5%.
Yeah.
Right? Just popping them out left, right and centre. Then, let's just fast forward to COVID. They dropped the rates in COVID.
Yeah.
Then they went all over the place. Then the 5-year fixes we've done in COVID are coming back around.
Yeah.
They're on like 1.2%. They're going to go on to 4 or 5%. Even with the mini budget, that was dreadful when you had to tell people, listen, you're going from 1.6% to 6%.
Wow.
But I say it was dreadful because we had the educational videos out there.
Yeah.
Right? Just telling people about the market, or just generally, if you've got any questions, let us know.
Yeah.
And because you built the relationship with them to start with, and they want to come back to you anyway, you can just have these honest conversations, and say, listen, this is it. Like the good news is your house has gone up in value.
Yeah.
Right?
The bad news
is your disposable income is going to come down.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's all about affordability, isn't it? You know, and that's the main thing. Again, pre-2008, and they just didn't care.
No. But
And the irony is the whole crash of 2008 pretty much started with Clinton and the subprime mortgages in America.
yeah, they were just writing off 125%. Right?
It was bonkers. Like, if nobody's even looked at it, you have to look at where it really started, and that was it. It was the subprime mortgages, and they would defer. They could defer like 3-4 payments a year. So what was happening is salespeople were going up to, I don't know.
Anybody.
Yeah, anybody.
Yeah.
Were wanting to go, like crackheads maybe, and going, do you want to have a place where you can just smoke your crack in peace? Yeah, that'd be great. Sign you. You won't have to pay for it because you don't care about your credit. No, I won't. So the people like Fannie Mae and, what was the other one? Fannie Mae and I can't remember what the other one was, the other company. They would provision for something like 20% bad debt, and it wasn't. It was like 125. It was a ridiculous amount. They're going like, where's all this money? And all these payments were deferred, so they weren't. It just all crashed. Which is the knock-on effect. Is we're still feeling it to this day.
So the reason we got through it was just because I didn't know any different. Maybe.
Yeah.
Ignorance was bliss, and just had the relationships there. I didn't have any. The question was quite like. Quite structured and but I was structured and answer back. It was just, I think it was luck as much as judgment.
Yeah.
Relationships as much as anything else, and just being honest with people.
So Leigh,
yes,
we ask everybody, what bit of advice would you give for the next guest coming on? Now, you don't know who the next guest is, neither do we for that matter.
Well, run your own race.
Oh, I like that.
Run your own race. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Support other people. Always be generous, kind. Take information, give information, and look at the whole thing as a big team.
I have to say, you're like my kindred spirit, right? Because you've said a lot of things which, like, we started up pretty much at the same time. You say, cut out the jargon, talk to people, and treat people as you like to be treated yourself, kind of thing as well.
Yeah.
But you're very right. Is like, run your own race. I used to ask people who's our biggest competitor, and it was always a trick question as I see it, because I'd say nobody does it like us, and I don't care about other compliance companies. I really do not give one iota of like my time to thinking about them. And I always say, we use a football analogy. Does Pep Guardiola really care what Mikel Arteta's doing in training, or care about what they don't? They care about what their company does. And as long as you concentrate on your own thing, everything else will fall into place, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, Leigh, thank you very much for joining us.
Well, thanks so much.
That's how it is.